12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers,
12 messengers,
12 tribes of
Israel.
12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers,
12 messengers,
12 tribes
of Israel.
12 gates,
12 gates,
12 messengers,
12 messengers,
12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom, welcome to B'nai Yeshua Synagogue, home of the Miami Beach Israel Revival. It's so wonderful to have you with us on this YATI Shabbat Video Club. It's an honor to minister the eternal word of Yahweh to you, your family, your mishpacha, and all your friends. We welcome you to join us right here in the center of World Two House Messianic Yisrael Revival as you pull up a chair and get ready for today's message in the Word of Yahweh. Again, we want to thank each of you from the bottom of our hearts for signing up, joining, and being a part of the worldwide outreach of the Miami Beach Israel Revival. Let's go into today's message as we sit back with our hearts open, our ears leaning forward, as Yahweh Eloheinu feeds us with the goodness and heritage of our father, Yaakov. Shabbat Shalom.
Teshuvah, welcome back.
Judah, Yehuda, come on, Ephraim, come on wherever you are, come on, my people, Israel. Hashem Yahweh. Not by might, not by power, but by the Ruach of Elohim.
Violations of Torah. And the Maccabees were raised up by Yahweh to cleanse the temple, to cleanse the altar, and to rededicate it. So that when you say Hanukkah, you're saying the Feast of Rededication. Is it one of the 7 feasts, or the 8 feasts if we include Shabbat, of Vayikra 23? The answer is no. It is not a biblical feast. It is not one of the 8 feasts of Vayikra 23. But it is also not the Jewish Christmas. Okay, let's please remove that from our thinking. It is not the Jewish Christmas. This has nothing to do with gift giving or Christmas. Now, there's a lot of things about Hanukkah that are biblical, and there's some things that are not. Now, here's what we see from Scripture. In Yochanan chapter 10, let's start with verse 21. Others said, these are not the words of one possessed by a shad. A shad is not able to open the eyes of the blind. Yahweh is called El Shaddai because he is the master of over all demons. The plural for the word shad is shadim, demons. So unlike religion says, well, El Shaddai means the Most High. No, technically it does not. It means the Elohim over all shadim. El Shaddai, or the Lord of the demon, over all the demons.
Hallelujah.
These are not the words of one possessed by a shad. It is a shad able to open the eyes of the blind. At that time, the Chanukah came to be in Jerusalem, and it was winter. Yeshua was walking in the Makom Kadosh, in the set-apart place, in the porch of Shlomo. And the Yehudim surrounded him and said to him, how long will you keep us in suspense? If you are Moshiach, tell us plainly. Yeshua said, I have told you and you do not believe. The works that I do in my Father's name, they bear witness concerning me. But you do not believe me because you are not of my sheep. As I said to you, my sheep hear my voice. I know them and they follow me. I give them everlasting life. They shall by no means ever perish. No one shall snatch them out of my hand. My Father who has given them to me is greater than all. No one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. Ani ve'avi echad anachnu. I and my Father are one. This whole discourse took place at Hanukkah in the temple. Yeshua observed, kept, and guarded Hanukkah because he made it his business to be in his Father's house, not only observing the Feast of Dedication in Jerusalem, and it was winter. He also did one of his most potent discourses, the Great Shepherd's Discourse, when he declared that he and his Father were actually echad. Ani ve'avi echad anachnu. So if for no other reason, you as a returning Ephraimite have no choice but to join your brother Yehudah in this celebration, because it is not uniquely a Jewish celebration, as we'll learn in today's message. It is a celebration for the cleansing and rededication of all Yisrael. Both houses need to be cleansed. But we see Yeshua kept the Feast of Rededication, or Hanukkah, and so if Yeshua did it, it ought to be good enough for his Talmidim, Hanotzrim, Hanetzarim. Okay, it ought to be good enough for the Netzarim, which is us, the branches. Yeshua celebrated, kept, and observed Hanukkah. That ought to be enough of a reason for us to do likewise. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. We see that very clearly. Amen. So we'll go into a little bit that I want to share with you about Hanukkah. And this is not today's message. This is just a few tidbits before we start our service. But again, I would ask everyone to please stand, if you would. Yah remembers. Good. Zachor Yah. Yah remembers. Zachariah. We'll be talking about the feast, a little bit about the Feast of Dedication. I need a page, please.
639.
And P.S., if you're already married, that prophecy wasn't for you. 639. We don't believe in polygamy. 6 what? I mean, we believe in it, but we're too crazy to practice it. We want to stay out of jail. What is it, 639, is it? Huh? 639. We want to obey man's laws too. Okay, I better quit while I'm ahead. Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 11. Zechariah, chapter 9, verse 11. I'll be preaching a message for a few hours entitled, One Menorah, One New Man. One menorah, one new man. I'm going to show you, brothers and sisters, from Ephraim and Yehuda, that Hanukkah, the Feast of Dedication, is mentioned in Scripture. We saw it this morning in Yochanan 10 at 1 o'clock, and now we're going to see it here. We're going to see a very interesting spin in Zechariah. Zechariah 9, verse 11. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Sion. Down to verse 11, talking about the king coming on the colt, verse 11. Also because of the blood of your covenant. Who's that? Yeshua, by the blood of the king's covenant. I will send your prisoners from the pit. Who are the prisoners? Those of both houses of Israel. By the blood of the covenant of the one riding on the donkey in Zechariah 9:9. By the blood of the covenant, the prisoners of Yisrael, or the exiles of Yisrael, or the captives of Yisrael, will be set free from the pit. Return, verse 12, to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. See, both houses, even in their exile, are prisoners, but they're called prisoners of hope. Turn to your neighbor and say, you're a prisoner of hope.
You're a prisoner of hope.
So unlike the heathen, those of scattered, lost, wandering, exiled, captive Israel are prisoners of hope.
Hallelujah.
Our hope is in the one who was on a donkey, the one who is willing and able and ready to set us out of the pit of death, hell, destruction, the grave, and the lake of fire by the blood of his covenant, somebody. But now, notice, this is where our hope is. So, in other words, the heathen are prisoners to the lake of fire. They have no hope. We are prisoners, Ephraim and Yehuda, the remnant of believers in the two houses who are believing in the blood of the covenant of the one coming onto Israel on a donkey. Rejoice, O Sion. Why should Sion rejoice? Because, listen, because Sion are the prisoners of hope.
Oh,
We are the prisoners of hope.
come on.
And that hope came to pass, our hope, the hope of our fathers and our fathers' fathers, came to pass when the Son of Yahweh came into Jerusalem riding on the colt, yes, even the foal of a donkey. Talk to me, somebody. Now, verse 13. For I, after the king comes, the king is coming to set the prisoners free. He says, I will bend Yehuda as the bow for me, and I will fill the bow with Ephraim. So the bow is Yehuda, and the arrows that fill the bow are Ephraim. And so the king is coming to make us a fighting force, a cleansed force, a dedicated, yea, even a rededicated force, a Chanukah. Chanukah means rededication. He is coming to make us the prisoners of hope, turn us into the prisoners of freedom, not prisoners, but free men. And he will take the bow of Yehuda and fill it with the arrows of Ephraim.
Go to war. Hallelujah.
Now, if we are being prepared for battle by the one riding on the donkey, who has come not to build a new Gentile church or a Sunday system, but he has come to take the bow of redeemed Judah and fill the bow of redeemed Judah with the arrows of Ephraim. He has come to rebuild and restore and regather the prisoners of hope. You are not a Gentile. There's no such thing as a saved Gentile. That's a fairy tale. It is a religious farce. Get it out of your vocabulary. If you are born again, a child of Yahweh, washed in the blood of the one who came to take you out of the pit, you are a child of Judah or Ephraim, and you're going to find your place in that bow and in that arrow, because Yahweh says, rejoice, prisoner of hope. I'm going to make the bow and the arrow one. I'm going to rededicate both to Yahweh. I'm going to cleanse both for Yahweh. I'm going to commission both for Yahweh. I'm going to make both one so that the battle can begin.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Yes, yes. Hallelujah.
Turn to your neighbor and say, the battle has begun.
Battle has begun.
Let's try that again. The battle has begun. And what is that battle? Who is our enemy? Well, we know it's S.A.10. But who does Satan use? Who are his talmidim? They are the prisoners that have no hope. They are the sons of Greece, the sons of Syria. They are the sons and the daughters and the ways of Antiochus Epiphanes, who has tried to remove Torah from the temple, remove Brit Milah from the people, remove the study of Scripture from among the people, change the Shabbat to a false Sabbath. And so it is the reason Yahweh is reuniting and restoring and regathering both houses of Israel is to wage a war against a pagan culture that will knock on your door, will call on your phone, will get into your e-box next Wednesday and next Thursday. That's why he's called you into the truth of the two houses. To make you one with your brother Yehuda and your Ephraimite brother. And so that we can be a fighting force as Echad to do what? Look at verse 13. Yahweh said, I will bend the bow. Notice, who is the force behind the war?
Yahweh.
Who is the one who is cleansing and rededicating both houses of Israel to do the same thing our forefathers did on the 25th of the 9th month?
Blood of Yeshua.
What did our forefathers do on the 25th day of the 9th month?
Hallelujah.
They dedicated and rededicated and cleansed the temple. How did they cleanse and rededicate the temple, Tia? They got rid of Zeus, also known as Jesus. They got rid of the pig. They got rid of the prohibition against circumcision. They got rid of the prohibition against Shabbat keeping. They got rid of the prohibition not to read the Torah, and they started circumcising their sons. They started keeping the true Shabbat. They returned to Yahweh's Moadim. They returned to Zion. They returned to truth, and they threw the Greeks and the Syrians and the pagans out the window because Yahweh said he will do in our day what he did on the 25th day of the 9th month. He will make us, the bow of Yehudah and the arrows of Ephraim, the rededicated sons and daughters of Zion, to stand and to fight the religious battle against the sons of Syria and the sons of Greece. Are we on?
Hallelujah.
Are we on? Are we going?
Yes.
Look at verse 13. O Zion, now watch this. And I will fill the bow with Ephraim. Notice Judah is a smaller house. Ephraim is the bigger house. He fills the bow with Ephraim, with the multitudes of Ephraim, to stir up your sons, O Zion, against the sons, your sons, O Yevanim, Greece, and I will make you like the sword of a mighty man, and Yahweh will appear for them, and his arrow will go forth like lightning, and the Master Yahweh will sound the shofar.
Come on. Hallelujah.
So what's the whole purpose of Hanukkah? To prepare the sons of Zion to fight the battle of the ages. It is the Greco-Roman, pagan, Syrian influence that tries to choke off true worship and true reverence and true obeisance to Yahweh Elohim. And so Yahweh is reuniting and restoring the two houses of Israel so that we can stand against the culture of the day, stand against the paganism in our midst, stand against the wayward, backward, backslidden ways of all those who claim Yeshua but will not follow Yeshua's Torah. Are we on? Are we going?
Yes.
And so we see that it is Yahweh who fills the bow with Ephraim, but notice it is Yahweh who bends the bow. Not by might, not by power, but by my Ruach, says Yahweh. He puts these two houses together not so you can die thinking you're Jewish, and you're not. He puts the two houses together for us to stand in a position that by ourselves we could not stand. We would succumb to the ways of Sunday. We would succumb to the ways of ham and bologna. We would succumb to these ways. The pressure is too great. Wednesday night, the pressure to drink the egg that nods and the nog that eggs, and to put a tree in our living room. There's pressure everywhere. There's tribulation. There's slipses. Everywhere you turn, it is difficult to stand against the culture of the day. It is the same culture that our forefathers kicked out of the temple. Some